Hi there, it's old Bob Burns.
And Ashley Austin, back again with more sensational simians.
As Hollywood goes ape.
Hold it right there, partner. 'Cause Darkest Africa is about to lock horns with the Wild West. Okay, so you're probably wondering what cowboys have to do with gorillas. Well, to find out, we'll have to corral some facts about a two-gun-toting movie star that went by the handle of Ray Crash Corrigan. Corrigan began his career as Ray Bernard. He played his first apes in 1932 in MGM's Tarzan the Ape Man, starring Johnny Weissmuller. In 1936, he was hired without billing by Universal Pictures to portray the sacred horned orangopoid, an alien ape that fought Alex Raymond's popular comic strip hero, Flash Gordon, played by Buster Crabbe. This time, he wore his own ape suit.
Stop it! Is there no way a man can conquer the sacred orangopoid?
There is an ancient legend.
Tell me.
Later that year, Bernard appeared in the very first serial made by Republic Pictures, Darkest Africa, playing a winged Batman, and also Bonga the Gorilla. As Crash Corrigan, a name maybe inspired by Flash Gordon, the actor went on to star in many chapter plays and Western features, mostly playing Tucson Smith in Republic's Three Musketeers series, and later himself in Monogram's Range Buster series. But even while riding the range and rounding up outlaws, Corrigan continued to moonlight as a gorilla, sometimes in the same movie, like this 1937 Three Musketeers entry, Come On, Cowboys.
I can manage now. And hurry up. I can't stay in this thing all day.
What's the game?
Just a little game called Truth.
You know, Dan,
I can put you behind bars for lying under oath. Oh, yes, I know you got away with it once. But this is one time you're going to crack out with the truth, or I'll put you behind bars. In there with that little pet. Well, you know, Barnes was really affectionate. He just plays a little rough once in a while. He tears off an arm or a leg.
What's he doing here?
Well, I'll tell you, Dan. He's the latest thing in lie detecting. Come on now, who's the back of that counterfeiting outfit?
I don't know.
Oh, hurry, let go! Who framed Jeff Harris?
I don't know.
Well, maybe Bongo will help you remember.
Don't put me in with that ain't
Hey, Tucson, take off that hat!
Darned if I can ever recognize you without your hat, Tucson.
I hope I didn't scare you.
Why, no, not at all.
Also for Republic in 1937, an ape-suited Corrigan was the inspiration for both thrills and laughs in Roundup Time in Texas, a Gene Autry musical western obviously set in Africa.
Come on, get away from here. Now get on out of here, I'll bite you.
I think the scariest ape they ever had in pictures, or apes, were the ones that Ray Crash Corrigan did. They didn't much look like real apes, but they looked kind of like what you think apes ought to look like if you were drawing a comic strip or making a movie or something. They really were super apes. They were big. They all looked 7 feet tall, which real gorillas aren't. And they had very long arms and huge hands and ferocious faces. He had several different get-ups, which were all terrific, I thought, and all very scary looking. He had a contract with the Republic. He played heroes in westerns and serials for the Republic, and he had a thing in his contract where if he didn't use his name for the billing, he could play apes on the side for other companies. And he made great use of that. Anytime he wasn't in a western or a serial, he was out being an ape somewhere else.
Corrigan's last screen appearance in his original ape outfit was in a 1940 monogram melodrama appropriately titled The Ape, about Nabu, a murderous gorilla that escapes from a circus. Wounded, Nabu happens upon a mad but otherwise kindly country doctor, played by horror star Boris Karloff, who needs human spinal fluid as an ingredient for a serum he's invented that can cure a form of paralysis. And what better way to get that fluid than to dress up in the ape's hide and go out and get it? In the end, the doctor realizes that his ape suit has led him to a fate much worse than any malpractice suit, as this time it's not he that's administering the shots.
The dog.
By the early 40s, Corrigan was stalking the screen in a new and improved ape costume, appearing in more features, serials, and short subjects than any other movie gorilla. But perhaps Corrigan's most famous gorilla role was in the 1944 PRC jungle epic titled after his character, Nabanga. Nabanga was a wounded ape cared for by a little girl lost in the jungle who grows up to be yet another long-lost jungle goddess. This one played by a very young Julie London.
You always see that nothing happens to me, don't you?
Again, Corrigan the gorilla found himself having to tangle with movie hero Buster Crabbe.
Thanks. You must be the White Witch I've heard so much about.
In 1945, Corrigan appeared in his standard ape suit, but also made a brand new one for the title role he played in PRC's White Congo, about a white furred creature shunned by normal apes and believed to be another of those movie missing links. The White Pongo was highly intelligent, by ape standards, that is. The film's high point was this bit of guerrilla warfare between two kung fu fighters with Corrigan in these scenes in the role of tall, dark, and hairy. Later, Corrigan recycled his white pongo suit, appearing both as albino ape and as himself in a movie with a similar theme.
The gorilla. There it is.
I backed away. He came at me. Closer and closer. me, I thought it was the end.
Corrigan played a prehistoric giant ground sloth in 1948's Unknown Island, varying his portrayal only slightly from his usual ape performances. That same year, he retired from his gorilla career, sold off his ape suits, and returned to a non-human role just one more time, as the alien in the 1958 science fiction movie, It, the Terror from Beyond Space.
You can't be serious about this. This is impossible. It's insane.
Oh, but I'm quite serious. I'm going to remove your brain and replace it with that of a gorilla. And when the experiment is over, you'll have the mind of a savage ape.
But you don't understand. I already am a gorilla. For some reason, apes, especially gorillas, have always been stock characters in horror movies. And even though in real life, they're just animals, on screen, they've been portrayed as monsters. Scientist Boris Karloff used apes in an experiment to transfer one creature's mind into the head of another, and succeeded in the 1936 British film, The Man Who Lived Again.
Changed over. Does that prove it? Each has got the mind of the other, the personality, the likes, the dislikes. The things that if they were human beings, we would call the soul.
If they were human beings?
Why not?
You can't do that.
No. I can't do that.
A favorite science project of movie mad doctors was to try changing apes into humans, as in Dr. Renault's Secret, in which lunatic George Zucco transformed gorilla Crash Corrigan into almost human J. Carrol Naish. In 1943, Corrigan again played the gorilla, which was this time evolved by mad doctor John Carradine into beautiful Aquanetta.
Creature of evil, running amok, blazing a trail of fear-crazed horror. From the jungle's most guarded secret comes this amazing story of a captive wild woman, torn between the mad cravings of animal blood and the longing for human love. A woman whose jungle instincts give her sinister power over man and beast.
And suppose your experiment does succeed. What will you have? A human form with animal instinct.
You want the police to do to you if they catch you? No, of course you don't. They put you on trial. Then they'll put you in the electric chair and kill you.
Paula Dupre, the Ape Woman, returned in 2 sequels, Jungle Woman in 1944 and Jungle Captive the next year. In The Monster Maker, a 1944 PRC Poverty Roll production, Mad Dr. J. Carrol Naish, like so many others, kept a gorilla, Corrigan again, in his laboratory.
Get back where you belong.
Apes have also been caged in gloomy old mansions, as in the 1932 movie, The Monster Walks.
House of Mystery was in the tradition. That was also by Adam Hull Shirk, by the way, the same guy who wrote Ngagi. It was a stage play originally called The Ape. And it's typical of the Broadway shows that were very popular at that time, which were mystery farces, they were usually called. A mystery farce in 3 acts, such as The Gorilla, The Cat and the Canary, things like that. Well, House of Mystery is like that. It's got quite a bit of humor in it. Has a beautiful Indian nautch dancer, a stolen jewel from some idol in India. Has the whole works. And it has this big gorilla. I've never been able to find out who played that gorilla, but I saw him in a few other pictures. And it's a very good-looking, heavy-built gorilla.
In the end, the human killer gets his just desserts at the hairy hands of the killer ape.
Samba! Samba!
It is done, O Kali. Revenge is thine.
Obviously, this police detective has seen enough movies about killer apes in old mansions to make a good but wrong deduction. Close, but no banana.
What are you trying to do? Want to see who it is? Why, his head won't come off. Huh? Why, this ape's the real McCoy.
In some ways, The House of Mystery was like The Gorilla, made in 1939 with Bela Lugosi, and based on the comedy mystery play by Ralph Spence, already filmed twice before. This version featured character actor Art Miles in the title role. But was the ape the mysterious killer known as the gorilla? One of the screen's most moth-eaten gorillas appeared in the 1960 no-budget movie Teenage Zombies. You talk about bad hair days.
Now we tame the savage beast.
And the apes kept on skulking, loping, and snarling, in all shapes and sizes, taking their place in the rogues gallery of movie monsters. And do you, Ashley Austin, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Then the ring?
One ape actor who came close to grunting his wedding vows on more than one occasion was Steve Calvert. Calvert began his career as a gorilla in 1949 in the Jungle Gym programmer The Lost Tribe, the year after he bought and repaired Ray Corrigan's deteriorating ape suits. That same year, he snarled his way through the jungle melodrama Zomba. Corrigan did more than sell Calvert his suits. He also taught him how to move and walk like an ape, although Calvert also studied the mannerisms of real gorilla Gargantua. Calvert quickly graduated from former movie stuntman and extra to an in-demand specialty performer, playing with stars like Bing Crosby and Bob Hope in The Road to Bali.
Hurry, George. This kid's a juvenile delinquent. Keep cool. You keep cool. I'm numb. I'll think of something. George, keep me cool. I'm too cool. Watch it now. Why am I attractive to young widows? Oh, Buster, I don't like to look in her eye. Oh, George, get a rock, a club, anything. Kill one of us. George. Sing to her. You know, music has charms to soothe the savage beast.
Rest, that is.
Beast breath, sing!
To see you is to love you, and I see you everywhere. In the sunrise, in the moon glow, everywhere I look, you're there.
In 1951, Calvert appeared in Bride of the Gorilla, in which a murderer, played by Raymond Burr, believes that he is transforming into a demonic jungle beast. The transformation from man to Calvert's ape was less subtle in the 1952 lowbrow comedy Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, starring Martin and Lewis wannabes Duke Mitchell and Sammy Petrillo, and Bela, by now an old pa in the apes and ape-man business.
Now, let's see if my lovely Nona will prefer you to me.
But hey, that Dookie, he still had a way with the ladies, even if they were the gorilla his dreams.
Here's something that ought to do it, Dookie. Here, this'll cover you up. Put it on. What are you doing? What are you clowning? Here, put it on. Will you put it on? Now look, Duke Mitchell. I'm running this game, you understand? And don't talk back. Here, now put it on, because we gotta get out that door. Dookie. Dookie, this is you over here, ain't it, Dookie? This is you, ain't it, Duke? Oh, come on, Dookie, tell me it's you, will you? Dookie. Dookie, please. Tell me it's you, will you, Duke? Oh, come on, sing. Dance, do something, will you?
Do I love you? Oh my, do I, baby?
I give up!
Perhaps it was inevitable that Calvert would eventually meet the Bowery Boys in 1954.
The Bowery Boys get the heebies, the jeebies, the willies, and the shakes, while you get the laughs of the year.
By the mid-1950s, Calvert had become to movie apes what Corrigan had been in the 30s and 40s, mostly appearing in B films and TV shows, including the 1958 reincarnation tale, The Bride and the Beast, written by the infamous Ed Wood, Jr.
ever get that close to him again. He could have killed you.
On her wedding night, her husband's love brought the beast to raging fury. What memory in her subconscious mind, what weird recollection of another existence evoked frenzied nightmares that could only end in disaster. See the strange climax to one of the great horror stories of our time, The Beauty and the Brute, as a man sees his bride carried off by giant apes.
Like Gamora and Corrigan before him, Calvert also played a movie alien, a robot, in 1953's Target Earth. But it's for his gorilla roles that Calvert is best remembered.
George Burroughs wore a space helmet something like this with his ape suit back in 1953, when the producers of his most notorious film couldn't afford a robot costume.
With the swiftness of a deadly cosmic ray, the Earth is invaded by indestructible moon monsters. Their ghastly mission, death for all humans. What astounding technical developments are being made to protect mankind? Robot Monster brings you an actual preview of the devastating forces of our future. Unsuspected revelations of incredible horrors that will terrify you with their brutal reality.
There is no escape from me. Very well. I will recalculate. Your death will be indescribable. Fool humans, there is no escape.
Born in 1913, George Burroughs was first a stuntman, but also one of the best fencers in Hollywood, having crossed swords with some of the movie's finest swashbucklers. He was also a movie gorilla. In the 1954 3D mystery thriller, Gorilla at Large, Burroughs played another ape that in the end is unmasked as Anne Bancroft? But Burroughs' biggest claim to gorilla fame, at least in terms of size, was the 1961 horror film, Congo. Burroughs didn't wear the suit himself this time around, but shipped it to England, where the film was shot. For a while, at least, there were attempts to market the Congo character, but he never quite became a household word like some of his primate predecessors. George Burroughs was one of the last of the old-style movie gorillas, and one of the best. Oh, I wondered where I left that. Thanks.
Bob, what's all this?
Oh, that's just files where I keep miscellaneous anthropoid photos. Like that one of Janos Prohaska. He was a Hungarian guy who specialized in chimps and things, mostly on TV. These orangutans, played by men in suits, appeared in the 1931 film East of Borneo.
What's the matter here, Hambone? Don't you know there ain't no gorillas in these woods? Oh, no?
Mickey Rooney, then known as Mickey McGuire, met this escaped gorilla in the 1933 comedy short, Mickey's Ape Man. Former Frankenstein monster Glenn Strange played a primitive anthropoid when he met the Bowery Boys in 1949.
They're beginning to regain consciousness. Soon we shall see the results of my efforts.
Home at last. Slip and the boys will sure be glad to see me. Your little boy Satch's back, Louie. Double malt me.
Double malt you. I'll triple malt you. Somebody got gas on your stomach? Satch, it's me, the chief.
Both real gorillas and men in costumes appeared in 1953's Magombo.
Congo, the new word in motion picture entertainment. Just as the animal stampede in King Solomon's mines created a new high in screen thrills, MGM has now topped it with a blood-chilling spectacle, the Battle of the Gorillas, photographed for the first time in French Equatorial Africa.
Arthur France transformed into a prehistoric ape man, actually played by a stuntman, in the 1958 Universal International film Monster on the Campus.
Now, before your very eyes, see a man revert to a half-human anthropoid from the dawn of creation. A monster leaving behind a trail of death and destruction.
Oh, it's impossible. Nobody's got a footprint like that. I'll rest when I find the killer.
Well, that's not your responsibility. That belongs to the police.
Madam, I know what I'm doing.
Even he did not suspect the incredible truth. Neither did the police, nor the girl coming to keep a lover's rendezvous.
Many movie anthropoids' human identities remain unknown, as with this gorilla performer from a 1940s striptease short called Beauty and the Beast. Whew, that's enough of that one. A lot of gorilla actors turned up in what are called exploitation films, like Bawanga Bawanga, a 1941 low-budget thriller with very few thrills, and which was given another monkey go-round 13 years later with the new title, Wild Women. In 1965, this poor ape came suitably attired for its raids on a nudist camp in The Beast That Killed Women. The mighty Gorga was shown only from the waist up, because that's where the costume, somebody's fur coat, started. All things considered, it's probably for the best that some of these anthro-thespians keep their identities secret. But you know, there's still a few of them that really make me wonder, just who were they? In more recent years, apes have been as popular as ever, and some have really come a long way since the innocent days of Crash Corrigan and Emil Van Horn.
And these?
Oh, souvenirs, memorabilia, from Planet of the Apes.
A planet where man is the lowest order of living things, and the superior beings are apes. They build the cities, make the laws, the gods, and control the guns that hunt a race of lowly, terrified humans who run wild in the jungles, are caged in the prisons, and stuffed in the museums. 20th Century Fox transforms the motion picture screen into Planet of the Apes. Pierre Boulle's finest novel since Bridge on the River Kwai.
It's a world gone insane, an upside-down civilization that could not be real. Yes, a world of madness and terror.
Man has no understanding. He can be taught a few simple tricks, nothing more.
You did it. You cut up his brain, you bloody baboon! Dr. Cornelius, Roddy McDowell. Dr. Zira is played by Kim Hunter. Dr. Zayas is portrayed by Maurice Evans. And Nova by Linda Harrison.
Now the tribunal has placed you in my custody for final disposition. You realize what that means?
No.
Emasculation to begin with. Then experimental surgery on the speech centers, on the brain. Eventually a kind of living death.
Planet of the Apes, beyond your wildest dreams.
The Apes Academy Award-winning makeups, designed by John Chambers, are still amazing today. This test shows the film's star, Charlton Heston, with Edward G. Robinson, whose role of the orangutan, Dr. Zayas, eventually went to Maurice Evans.
I'm a menace now. Is that it? Way down deep. Deep in my own consciousness, my own awareness. As deep perhaps as a basic instinct. I've known that you were a menace. I've known that man is a menace.
The best movie apes and ape men were those created by special makeup effects wizard Rick Baker. For movies like Schlock, The Thing with Two Heads, the remake of King Kong, The Kentucky Fried Movie, The Incredible Shrinking Woman, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Harry and the Hendersons, and especially in Gorillas in the Mist, in which real apes could not be distinguished from the actors in Baker's outfits.
Mr. Burns, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you Gargantua?
I mean, I do, yeah.
Mr. Burns, tell me in your own words just how and why you became a gorilla.
Well, as long as we've got to have this monkey trial, I'll see what I can do. It all started when I was a kid. I used to love the jungle movies a lot. I like the horror movies too, but the jungle movies, especially with the gorillas in it. And I knew there were guys in suits. I just sort of knew it. I guess I always knew it. And I said, someday I want to be a gorilla man. I really want to do that someday. And I meant it. Obviously, I meant it more than I thought, because in 1964, I talked to my wife, Kathy, and said, let's build a gorilla suit. She says, oh, sure. Well, we did. We built a gorilla suit. Don Post Sr., was a mask maker, did the head for me and the hands and feet, and my wife, Kathy, built the suit. And we just kind of went from there, and there I had a honest-to-goodness gorilla suit named Kogar. Kogar's first professional job, you might say, was in 1964 in the Mickey Rooney Show. I kept going from there. Did a lot of laugh-ins, My Three Sons, Dusty's Treehouse, the Donnie Marie Osmond special, and tons of commercials and just all kinds of things. And then, of course, I did the infamous Adventures of Rat Fink and Boo Boo.
Ape, drop that girl.
Now, Kogar, quit playing around.
A film I had a lot of fun doing was a student film that Don Bluth did, way back when, with character actors Kenny Duncan and Roy Barcroft, who were two of the best. And I was Kogar the Gorilla again. In fact, I even killed poor old Roy Barcroft. Had a wonderful time. Those guys were great guys, and what a fun time it was to work with two complete professionals like these guys that I'd seen since I was a kid in every Republic serial and every Republic movie ever made, I do believe. Meanwhile, back in the hills...
Hey, drop that girl. What the? You out.
There are many hazards in playing an ape. One, I almost got shot one time doing rat fink. There were some rangers that saw me carrying this girl on the edge of a hill up by the Griffith Park Zoo, and they thought I was a bear. And they were trying to get close enough to shoot me and not hit the girl. But luckily, they saw the guys down in the gully with the camera. Otherwise, I'd have got it, because one of the guys even said, boy, you're lucky. I'd just about blow you away if we could get close enough to you. And that's one of them. Another time, I was with Eddie Munster in Arizona in a shopping mall, and I saw some sort of confusion out in the audience. I was up on the stage with him. And what happened was they caught this kid, a young kid, about 9 years old, with a bottle, one of these like detergent bottles, and it was full of liquid lye, and he was trying to squirt it in my eyes. And they asked him, why are you trying to do this? And he said, I just wanted to see what the ape would do. I decided to build a new suit after a while in 1973, and I had known Rick Baker for quite a while. I met Rick when he was 13 years old. And he created a new head for me, which was still, I called it Kogar 2 in the beginning. And he did the hands and feet. And here again, the body was still the old Kogar body and that Kathy had made, but Rick built a new chest for it. And the reason it got the name Tracy, which everybody's familiar with now, is I co-starred in a TV series called The Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, that is, with Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch in 1975. And the name of the gorilla in that show was Tracy, and the name stuck, and I've had it ever since, and that's been Tracy the Gorilla.
We're fighting street to street, house to house. It's guerrilla warfare.
My hero was Charlie. and I patterned my gorilla after Charlie. I learned a lot of stuff from Charlie. My ape doesn't do a lot of movement. It doesn't have the servos and stuff in the head that make all the things move. All I can move are my eyes and open the mouth and close the mouth. That's about it. But Charlie told me how to use my body English and my eyes for the expression to make the gorilla face look like it's doing a lot of things. And people think they see the brow moving and everything else. They don't. But Charlie was the best gorilla man there ever was. Now, if you want to talk about the best gorilla there ever was, that's Rick Baker. Gorillas in the Mist. Absolutely, hands down. One thing about wearing the gorilla suit to me is that I turn into the gorilla when I wear that suit. My wife will tell you that. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. I get in that suit and I don't talk. There's no human thing coming from me at all. That's it. That's all you're hearing. I've had friends of mine who know me very well, but when I get in the suit, they, like, run away. That's all there's to it. It is something that happens, to me anyway. I guess maybe I do go back to my primal beginnings or something, because I really feel like a gorilla in this thing, and it's a lot of fun. I don't feel like me. A crazy thing about it is I can do things in that suit that I can't do as myself.
Put it in front of its fierce and ugly face for you once more, and he'll cower to the back of the cage like a small child. Look at that. He'll cower to the... He's never done that. He's never done that. He's getting out! He's getting out!
So, Bob, what does the future hold for movie apes?
Well, with makeup and special effects improving every day, I'd say we're in for some pretty neat stuff. But you know, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Charlie, Crash, and Obie, and the rest of that old gorilla gang.
The moon is bright above. Oh, what a night for love. And as I hold you near, I whisper in your ear. I go ape every time I see you smile. I'm a ding-dong gorilla, carry on caveman style. I'm gonna bop you on the head and love you all the while. Well, I'm a monkey's uncle who's a cousin to a chimpanzee. Like I was reeling, rocking, howling from a coconut tree. Honey, can't you see you bring out the monkey business in me? Ting-tong, I'm related to old King Kong. Honey, won't you say you're mine? Well, a hunky-dunky monkey shine. When you hold my hand, I'm a prehistoric man. I go ape. Like a barrel of monkeys on an abba-dabba honeymoon. I go squealing, screeching, howling like a big baboon.